Is it?
Absolutely.
Are you sure?
It's a great morning.
It
yes,
is a great morning. He's a positive guy. I know the president's making a speech today on jobs and the economy. What will be different about this speech? What will be groundbreaking? What could help change the course of the numbers we've been talking about here?
Well, look, first of all, it's certainly not about poll numbers, except for when it comes to Americans' frustration with what's happening in Washington. If you look at where the president is versus where Republicans in Congress are, I think you have a very clear understanding of where that frustration is focused. One. Two, the president will go back to Galesburg, Illinois today to deliver a speech about where we need to move the economy, what we should be focusing on here in Washington. And it shouldn't be on the skirmishes that cause gridlock. It shouldn't be on the phony scandals that have consumed so much attention here, all to come to naught. It should be focused on what we can do to strengthen and grow the middle class, because when the middle class is thriving, when the middle class is growing, our economy is at its best. And that's what we need to do as we move forward in the 21st century. There are things we can do together as a country, that we can do together as Republicans and Democrats, that can continue to grow our economy, continue to make it create jobs, and make the middle class more secure. Unfortunately, Washington has been focused on other things, and the president wants to refocus everyone's attention on what matters.
So, Jay, I'll ask you about the president's pivot to the economy. Again, he's done that quite a few times. But first, you brought up phony scandals. That's like, seriously, that's like throwing red meat in the middle of dogs. So I've got to ask you this question. What phony scandals? Do you think the IRS scandal is a phony scandal?
I think what we've seen is inappropriate activity that the president came out and forcefully said he would not tolerate, and that he installed somebody at the IRS to take care of. What we have seen from Republicans is cherry-picked information based on investigations that turns out to be only one side of the story. Again and again and again, if you look up on Capitol Hill, when Chairman Issa and others have selectively released information and refused to release the full facts show that the story is quite different. And I think you can, it's demonstrated by the way that the press has, gotten extremely excited about the potential for a scandal and basically dropped it when the facts have come out. The president will not tolerate poor performance or inappropriate activity at any agency, and when he finds out about it, he acts on it. But he's focused on the economy, Joe. He's not focused on, pretend scandals that Republicans on Capitol Hill want to turn into partisan skirmishes. Yeah.
Jay, I want to get to the economy because obviously that's the most important thing. We have to clean up this one thing, though. I mean, you say that there's cherry-picked information on the site. Let's just take the IRS scandal. The fact is, it's far different than what you said. At the beginning, you said it was just the Cincinnati office, and then we find out more people in Washington are involved. And then this past week, we found out, despite what any of us think of the investigations on Capitol Hill, and I see you smiling, I don't know that there's anything to smile about, that it wasn't a couple of crazy people in Cincinnati, that this information actually went up to the chief counsel of the IRS, which was one of two political appointees by the President of the United States in the entire IRS. So it doesn't sound phony to me, Jay.
Joe, I greatly appreciate that is the line that is being pushed by Republicans who want Washington to be focused on scandals instead of the economy.
No,
Wait,
Jay,
Joe,
that doesn't work. No, is that the truth or not, Jay? Is that the truth or not? You said, Jay, that this was limited to Cincinnati. That wasn't true.
No.
I want to talk about the economy, but talk to me. Don't give me talking points, because that doesn't work on this show. And you've been here long enough to know it doesn't work on this show.
Okay.
So answer my question, and then let's talk about the economy.
When you get to the question, I'll answer it. Here it is. What we said all along. I gave you the question, and you decided to fight me, Jay. So stop your games with me. We've known each other for too long. I'm not playing your games. I'm not somebody you talk down to from your podium. Answer my question, Jay. Joe, please, let me answer it. There is no question that activity that occurred at the the IRS was inappropriate, and the president made clear that he wanted to take care of it, and he appointed somebody who's doing that. What we said all along was based on the IG's report, which said that the activity was in Cincinnati, and the IG report and every bit of evidence that has come out since then makes clear that no one at the White House was involved at all or even knew about what was happening. And that has not changed, Joe. And the Republicans immediately said that it was about something much bigger than it turned out to be, because they wanted it to be a scandal. But Joe, look, I accept that we need to get to the bottom of what happened at the IRS, and we need to make sure that our government is performing in a way that Americans can be proud of. But we also need to focus on the economy. And what's frustrating, I think, for so many Americans is that we're not here in Washington focused on the things that matter most. And that's how do we make the middle class
Jay,
more secure.
And I agree with you, jobs matter most to Americans. So let's talk about jobs right now. The president's talking about the economy today. How is this speech going to be different from the other speeches he's given in the past?
Well, it'll be thematically consistent, because what he'll make clear is that the same problem that the middle class was facing in 2005, even before the Great Recession, where the middle class was being squeezed and seeing its income stagnate, while the top 1% saw its incomes increase dramatically, remains a problem even as we emerge from the worst recession since the Great Depression. And that we need to focus our attention on ways that we can invest in education, in rebuilding our infrastructure, in scientific research and innovation, even as we make smart choices about our spending so that we continue to reduce our deficit. What we can't do is, make indiscriminate cuts the way that Republicans in the House have been calling for in the very areas of our economy that investment will allow the economy to grow even bigger and stronger and allow the middle class to grow.
Willie.
What you've seen, well, Joe, what you've seen, and I think you guys have talked about this, is that the deficit has been coming down at the fastest pace since the end of World War II, since demobilization. And that's because of the agreements the President reached with Congress and the policies that he's put into place that have allowed for sustained economic growth and job creation. We've seen 7.2 million jobs created in the last 40 months. We need to do more, and the President wants to talk about how we can do more and which areas of the economy we need to focus on to make that happen. And we've got a bunch of economic discussions and debates to have here in Washington in the coming months, as you know, over the budget. And we want to make sure that everyone here in Washington and around the country is focused on the long view here about growing the economy as we have these conversations.
Hey, Jay.
All right. Let's bring in Willie Geist. Willie.
Hey, Jay. It's Willie Geist. Good to see you this morning.
Sure.
As you just saw in that NBC Wall Street Journal poll, and as you know well, a lot of people have tuned out Washington and now very skeptical, if not totally eliminated the possibility that that's a town where things actually get done. If you read the New York Times write-up this morning about the president's speech today, it says, after explaining what's going to be in the speech, quote, White House aides said they did not anticipate the speeches leading to any breakthrough with Republicans on looming fiscal fights, which I thought was the point of the whole thing. So what hope can you give to a very, very cynical American public right now that this time will be different, that there'll be politics that work so that these policies can be implemented?
Willie, I think that's an excellent question, and the reason why the President believes now is a good time to talk about the bigger issues and obstacles that we face in our economy is because we cannot afford to engage in the same kind of skirmishing and fighting here in Washington that causes gridlock, that does harm to our economy. You remember back in the summer of 2011 when there was the fight over raising the debt ceiling. And even though leaders in the Republican Party insisted they didn't want the economy, the country to default for the first time in its history, some members of the House said they embraced that idea. And the mere flirtation with default, the mere flirtation with the idea that for the first time in our history America would not pay its bills, caused great economic harm and hurt the middle class. And we can't do that again. We've proven, both the President and Republicans in Congress, that we can reach agreements that help the economy grow without leaving the middle class holding the bag. And we need to do that again so that we can move forward. And the President will focus on the ways we can do that.
All right, Jay Carney. Buddy, thank you for being here. I obviously still haven't gotten over you baiting me into saying the F word on national television.
I didn't mean to bait you, Joe. I know the President wants us to focus on the stuff that the American people really care about, and that's what he's going to try to do today.
I was talking about way back when you got me to say the F word on national television.
Well, maybe that explains. I continue to be amazed by that moment. But you bounce back, Joe. You bounce back.
All right. You know what? I somehow get by. I don't know how. All right, Jay, thank you so much for being with us. We greatly appreciate it, and of course, all of us are hoping that more Americans get back to work soon. We appreciate it.